This is your evidence log for Unit 1, Childhood. So the purpose of an evidence log is to make connections to the end of the unit prompt and locate textual evidence. You will complete an evidence log for each text we read in this unit. Okay, so as we continue reading our stories, we are going to come back at the end of each story and fill in our evidence log. So you can see that we're going to do this one together, Wagon, Train at Dusk. The next text that we read is going to be Calvin and Hobbes. And I've also included The Brown Girl Dreaming. We're going to read that. And there might be some more text that we read. So one thing that you could do is you can copy this whole box, a blank box, and you do Control-C or right-click, copy, and then you can paste it underneath. That way you can have another box, okay? So right now, we only need up to Brown Girl Dreaming, but eventually the more text that we add, you're going to have to copy and paste a blank box at the bottom so you can fill in another text. But for today, I'm going to do the Wagon, Train at Dusk for you, okay? Just so you have an example. So we finished reading Wagon, Train at Dusk. Now we have to come back here and we're going to look at the prompt. The prompt says, when did a challenge lead to a triumph? Or you could think about it this way. When did a problem lead to a success? So in Wagon, Train at Dusk, we have this first box. It says, how does Wagon, Train at Dusk connect to the prompt? So how do these two connect? Well, and we talked about this when we wrote our summaries, we know that the father's project was ruined, but he realized the story behind it was funny. So he realized that the story about how his project was ruined was funny. His creativity helped turn the challenge into a success. So this is how the story of the Wagon, Train at Dusk connects to this prompt. When did a challenge lead to a triumph? So the challenge was his project was ruined, and the triumph was that he made it a success. He realized that it was funny. What text evidence from the text shows this connection? So now we have to go back into our text. So I linked it over here. And then for each evidence log you do, I will add them as well so you can go back into the text. So here's the text. Oh, for some reason, this part's really big. That's okay. So we want to find where he is picking up the pieces of his diorama. So the dog ate my diorama. Oh, here it is. He says, I picked up all the pieces and put them in the box and took the whole thing to school. So that is textual evidence. That means it's coming from the text, and it's showing me that even though he has this challenge, he's still going to present his diorama. He's going to make it a success. So I'm going to copy and paste this. Oops. Copy. Paste. And I want to make sure that it's smaller. And we can make this 12 too. There we go. And because it's from the text, it's text evidence, we need to make sure we put quotation marks in it. So there's one here that I copied in, but I need to make sure I put another one. There we go. Now this section, this box over here, is for any other notes or ideas that you want to write down about the text. So any other notes or ideas I want to write down about Wagon Train at Dusk. Well, I want to write, you don't have to, this is just to help you, because we're going to, this is going to help us when we go to write our end of the unit essay. All right, so I'm going to write that the father taught his daughter that some things aren't so bad. Okay, so now I have filled in my evidence log. I have textual evidence from the text. I understand how Wagon Train at Dusk connects to the prompt in bold, when did a challenge lead to a triumph? And I have additional notes. So this you're not going to turn in, because we are going to come back for each text. So when we finish reading Calvin and Hobbes, we will do this one. You guys are going to do this one on your own. Okay, so I've done the first one for you. I would like you to copy what I have written and put it into your evidence log. Okay, so copy what I have written and put it into your evidence log for Wagon Train at Dusk.